Jon Stewart was doing an interview with the New Yorker, and this guy from the New Yorker is the biggest douche. His name's Remnick. Is this guy? I think it's David Remnick. And he interviewed Jon Stewart. And, you know, Jon Stewart and other people deserve a lot of credit because it takes balls to stick up for people when there's like an internet onslaught against them.
Right.
Actually, you know what? I shouldn't say that. It doesn't take balls because then you realize the internet is fake and gay and full of bots and that it doesn't cost you anything. But what I'm saying is, like, it would be so easy for Jon Stewart to either say no comment or throw shade at Rogan and shit on the guy to, like, add to the pile-on. Jon Stewart does an awesome job here because this New Yorker asshole is thinking
he's
like
doing a thing.
He thinks he's got a buddy in Jon Stewart, and they're gonna chortle a little bit at Joe's expense. And Jon Stewart does a really good job of defending these guys.
John, you've been on Rogan a couple of times?
Yes.
What did you think of that experience, being on Joe Rogan?
I enjoyed being on Rogan. I think he's an interesting interviewer. There are right-wing, weaponized commentators whose sole purpose is to manipulate things to the benefit of the Bannon Project.
But enough about Mark Levin. Oh, sorry.
Or the Project 2025. Rogan's not that guy.
What is that guy? How would you describe
that guy
him?
is a curious comic who fell into this thing that got fucking enormous, maybe doesn't, has opinions all over the political spectrum, but has tendencies that people on the left does not fit the aesthetic. He's a hunter.
I mean, in fairness, he's had people on who are kind of Nazi curious.
This is what I mean about this guy.
You're trying to paint a picture.
You know, but I don't.
You asked a question, you're getting an answer, and you're interrupting him because it's not fitting your narrative.
Exactly. He's kind of doing the thing that Jon Stewart is kind of describing. This Remnick, trying to look like a neutral journalist, asks this question about Joe Rogan. But when John doesn't start giving him the answer that he wants, he goes, whoa, wait a minute. I got to steer this thing. It must be really exhausting to be this kind of a guy because to just interview someone can be really interesting and really fun. But to be an interviewer who has in the back of their head, I have to talk to this guy a certain way or people might say mean things about me on Twitter, it's got to be really stressful and it's got to be really, it's got to fuck with you a little bit because this guy is clearly doing that. He thought Jon Stewart was going to give him a certain thing on Rogan, and he didn't. And Jon Stewart has done a very good job, really his entire career, of being a truth teller that makes everybody mad or makes everybody uncomfortable. And that's the good sign that someone's usually giving you the straight dish on something, is that you don't always like it. It's not always what you want to hear. That usually means they're being genuine. And I think Jon Stewart is very genuine, especially here. So Nazi curious. And this is another thing that guys like Remnick do. They bring up this Nazi curious. If they can't, they tried doing the Nazi thing for years, and that got smacked down. So now everyone has to be Nazi curious or Nazi adjacent.
That's not good.
I've interviewed Kissinger. And he was carpet bomb curious. I don't know what to say. It's very easy to castigate those where we're like, but he had an opinion a few years back that's, corrosive.
But the difference is when he was carpet bomb curious, you didn't say, oh, yeah, that's awesome. And what happens with Rogan sometimes is he'll hear somebody that's on the dangerous end of the spectrum.
Who?
And he'll just kind of soak it in.
Like what?
But this is gatekeeping. He's like on the dangerous end of the spectrum. It's not like Joe Rogan has Nick Fuentes on saying, I don't believe the Holocaust happened. And by the way, as much as I disagree with that opinion, you're allowed to believe it didn't happen.
Right. And you're allowed to have people on your show who espouse that opinion.
Right. This fear of people saying shit is what makes Nick Fuentes huge. And by the way, that's what all of these guys are afraid of right now. They don't say his name because they're worried he's like Joe Hendry and he'll appear. They don't say his name, but the rise of Nick Fuentes has caused all of these media guys to start making up this invisible Nazi in their head because they don't want to say Nick Fuentes. So they go,
say his name, Jews disappear. I believe in Nick Fuentes.
Because from everywhere but a place in Tel Aviv. Oh,
And this is,
but no, that gate, before we continue with this, that gatekeeping shit annoys the fuck out of me. That guys like him go, having someone on you disagree with is fine. But once it gets to this arbitrary opinion that I've chosen in my head, now I get to morally grandstand.
Now it's not okay. Now these are
okay.
dangerous people.
Yeah. But notice, like Jon Stewart said, he interviewed Kissinger. Kissinger's a fucking war criminal who should have been put to death. Henry Kissinger is a truly evil, evil man. And this guy, that's okay because Henry Kissinger was in the DC world. He was in the political game. So even if that guy does really evil shit like murder Cambodians who we weren't at war with, it's one thing to firebomb Vietnamese civilians. He went and he murdered Laotians and Cambodians that we weren't at war with. And that guy's okay to talk to. But if you say something that's not in this guy's wheelhouse, how dare you have him on a show?
Right. Soak it in.
And this is, I think this is a great point. And it's whoever job who thinks that information is dangerous, to fight to get their point of view out there to counter what they think is misinformation. You can't just deputize people to say he should have known better and he should have prosecuted that point.
But the reality is, John, is that it might be my job or the New York Times job or even your job, but I don't have the audience that Joe Rogan does.
Then get it.
So what? That's not on whose fucking fault is that?
Could it be that you guys have manipulated and lied to people enough where they don't trust you anymore? And if Joe Rogan has a Nazi curious guy on, which you're going to have to explain to me who that is.
Kanye.
Did he have Kanye on?
I don't know, but you say Nazi curious, and I'm immediately like, unless we're talking Nick Fuentes, we're going Kanye.
He better not be.
I mean, and I don't even buy Nick Fuentes on that. Nick Fuentes isn't a Nazi. He just very much doesn't like Jews, and he'll tell you why.
But my thing with the Joe Rogan comparison is they better not be talking about Daryl Cooper, because Daryl Cooper is a historian. He's not Nazi curious. But anyway, this guy's like, whoa. Jon Stewart's basically saying, if you don't like what they're saying, you have a platform, say the opposite. And this guy's going, but it's not fair. I don't have the platform he does. This is the way that people like Joe Rogan have had to operate for the last 100 years. And now for a couple of years, because you guys have been lying shitbags for so long, you're not in the catbird seat anymore. Now you're going to lie and bitch and complain, but I don't have as many followers as Joe Rogan. That sounds like a you problem, brother.
Then get it.
Yeah,
then find people who do. Then go on that show. Then do those things. Like that is. It's not acceptable to just say, well, I don't like what he does. Then do it better. Beat them at their own game. It's not enough to just complain that guy got a platform and don't platform that guy. There's no one in this world right now that isn't platformed. And my biggest frustration, honestly, with a lot of scientists is they all go, RFK, oh, he's so fucked up. That's terrible information. Oh, okay. What's the information? Nothing. Where are they?
Right.
Get out there.
No, it's because RFK Jr. is saying shit that might be true and goes against the people who have been cutting you checks.
Right. And the people that don't like that information getting out are the ones who are like, well, look, I don't like this. But it's the liar thing. It's detrimental to my case.
Exactly. And that's how I feel a lot of these people who like to go after Rogan and Bill Burr and all these other people. It's kind of how they operate too. Well, I have to frame this a certain way. Otherwise, this just looks like me being a jealous cunt.
I will say in the Bill Burr situation, he did kind of set himself up a little bit back when he made statements about saying how doing something like he did wouldn't be okay. Like the before.
Beyonce stuff.
Yeah, like just going on and saying I don't want to go, or something about not going and performing for certain people. I don't know the exact context. He said something contrary to him going over.
What he was saying was Beyonce and Mariah Carey performed for Gaddafi's children.
Okay.
And he's like, well, are we going to pretend the Pan Am bombing didn't happen? And now people are saying, well, Bill, you went and performed in Saudi Arabia. Didn't they do 9/11? We gotta make up our minds on this shit. Was 9/11 a false flag done by our own government, or was it done by the Saudis? Because I don't think you can criticize Bill Burr for going to Saudi Arabia on the 9/11 thing if you don't believe the official story of 9/11.
Yeah, I kind of believe it was. Well, I hate to say this. I kind of believe it was like it wasn't done on behalf of Saudi Arabia. It was allowed to happen by our government and, say, other organizations working with said government. And so it's kind of this weird mixed bag where they did attack us, but they attacked us because we played dead and we asked them to.
Jon Stewart made a point about the Saudi Arabia thing that I thought was really good. He said, I don't police other people's money, but I wish these guys wouldn't make it like we're just starting a conversation thing. You know? Like, he's like, go ahead, go make your money, go perform a show wherever you'd like to.
Right.
But he was like, he was like, don't do that thing that Bill Burr did, which he said it in this same interview. But I'm not finding the clip because if you type in Jon Stewart, Saudi Arabia, there's all kinds of shit that comes up.
There's a few things there.
But he also shit on Marin, saying like, come on, you're taking all of this from a guy who's one of the most, like, he even said, he goes, I've known Mark Maron, and that guy has a lot of skeletons in his closet, and he hasn't treated people very well either. You know, he's gone.
I don't know. I haven't known Mark Maron.
He said that, you know, Mark Maron has done a lot of shady shit to a lot of people. And Jon Stewart's comment was basically, I don't police other people's money. Just don't say you're doing it for moral reasons, like you're trying to start a conversation. And
or you're trying to, like, you know, push the bounds and bring democracy. No. You're doing it because they gave you a paycheck and you're there to make a paycheck. Exactly. You're an entertainer. You're a performer. You're paid to do a gig. That's the thing. When you're paid to play a character, it doesn't mean you fully support that character. I'm pretty sure plenty of people don't support the characters they play in movies as like, oh, I believe in everything they did. No. You got paid to be that character for that movie.